Welcome to Big Blend Radio with your hosts, Lisa and Nancy, editors of BigBlendMagazine.com.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Big Blend Radio with Nancy and Lisa. So, Nancy and I travel full-time across the country on our Love Your Parks tour, where we document parks and public lands. But also a lot of our friends gathered together and said, well, we want to see other things too, because, the whole thing is not just to do the parks and public lands, but to connect them with their communities. And so when you go to a place, like say you're going to Sequoia National Park in California, on the way there or on your way out, spend the night. There's a ton of shopping to be done and food, and there's theaters, there's all kinds of things. So it's really about connecting the two together. And so we've got, people sent us on these, what's called the Mission Possible stories. It's like a giant treasure hunt, really, is what we are on across the country. And so we've got military history sites, law and order. We're doing courthouses across America. There's all kinds of stories, horses across America, English connections. But Diva Linda, Diva Linda Kissam, a food, wine, travel writer, is also the food, wine, shopping diva. No one gets that name but her. She sent us on a shopping treasure hunt, Mission Possible, across the country. And we thought, what? We're going to go shopping? Where we're going to put all this stuff in the car? And she goes, no, you don't just shop for you. You got to shop for others. And she loves to shop. And so we have really looked at places across the country where you should go shopping. We've got a special edition magazine coming out. So keep up with us at blendradioandtv.com and Diva Linda at allingoodtaste.info. See that shopping thing going on, but welcome back. How are you, Diva Linda?
I'm very good. Thank you very much. I'm home in Arizona and for just about 3 weeks or 4 weeks. So I'm glad to be back. And, I have an interesting story about getting COVID in Europe after being there 2 weeks when I avoided COVID in the States for 2.5 years. You tell me, how did that happen?
I don't know. That's not, I know, but you ended up in Scotland and going to Edinburgh and having like high tea and all kinds of good adventures. So I'm glad you're healthy and safe now,
Thank you.
It is happening to people. I see that happening.
Yes, we do see that.
Travels. A lot of people are getting it now, but people are alive. So that's a good thing, right?
I don't know if is it the airlines? Is it,
I think being on a cruise and being in a lot of group activities on that cruise, I think probably just that many people together 7 days a week for 2 weeks, I think may have done it. So anyway, as you say, it's over with and it's all good. And I'm glad I'm done with that. Hopefully it won't come back. And it wasn't bad. It was it was flu-like. So just like they said, everything just like they said, nothing new or spectacular.
Oh, well, good. And where are you going next? You said you're only home for a few weeks now.
No, I didn't say that. I think I'm going back to LA for a press trip board. I think Princess Cruise Lines is doing some sort of promotion, and it ties in with our conference 2023. IFTWA's conference for writers will be a cruise up and down the West Coast. So it's going to be fun.
Nice.
Yeah, different.
Nice.
Yeah, we used to do them all the time. And then, sometimes you do the same thing too many times. So we haven't done one in probably 7 years. So
yeah, I was going to say, that's
really
right.
nice.
So everyone, the International Food, Wine, Travel Writers Association, Linda was a president for many years. And so now, this is really cool to see. The conference is coming back. They just had one in St. Petersburg. We do a show with what we say IFTWA every second Tuesday, every second Friday. We've got some new things happening as well. And Diva Linda's on the show every first Saturday because she wants to be first. She's a diva. But now shopping, you've got a great story about this, an article about shopping, about the serotonin levels. Like this makes you happy. We know you love your shopping. Every time we talk to you, if you're in a different place, you must have the shoes to go with it.
Yeah, so I'm doing research on another article that has something to do with shopping. lo and behold, now I know why I'm so happy when I'm shopping. And also that same amount of high, the high that you get when you shop is also present when you give the gift that you shopped for. So, and it's called serotonin, and it's your brain, it's brain producing serotonin, saying you're doing a good job, stay out there, shop a bit, and gives you like a little ping, like a ping of serotonin, and you feel all happy, and that's why everybody has such a good time. Who knew it was serotonin? I probably researchers, but I just figured this out.
It's a happy hormone.
It's a happy hormone. And I don't know how many times it pings you. I mean, you start at one end of the mall and you get your first ping when you first go in, and then as you make purchases, maybe the ping, 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 ping.
This sounds like a gambling. This sounds like a casino thing to me. Now I'm wanting to go play slot machines.
I think avid shoppers, like if you're just like a regular shopper, you don't get enough pings, so that when you go home, you're probably tired and you go to sleep. Well, those of us who are really out there to shop, we get serotonin pinged so many times. By the time we get home, we're wide awake and ready to go tomorrow.
Well, isn't it when you're doing something special, like especially if you're looking for, it's not like, I think I know you're online. There's the online stuff, but I'm really I'm tired of the big box story. It's beyond that, isn't it? I mean, I'm sure that that's important too. And there's certain things you can only get from there, but isn't it part of like Nancy and I go into a park and we're looking for deer or a specific bird. And if we find that specific bird, ping, 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 we found the bird. So it's kind of a hunt, but not killing anything.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I think you get a double ping. This is what I like. You get a ping for buying it. You probably get a ping just for showing up. And then you get another ping of serotonin when you deliver the gift and you see the reaction. Now, I guess if it's a bad reaction, you take back some ping, but if everybody likes it. Yeah. But so who knew? I mean, I guess, here's the lesson. Next time you go shopping, in a joyous manner, looking for things, and Christmas is coming, so you can try this out, see if you feel the pings, and then see if you feel the pings when Christmas Day arrives and you open everything and your friends open everything, family does. I think this is like a homework assignment.
Do you shop with a list, or do you go into a shop and went, oh, somebody like someone that you know and care about, you're like, oh, they would so love this. I gotta get it.
I generally shop with a name list.
Okay.
Yeah, just because once you get into the shopping mode, you are bedazzled by all the things around you, and it's all of a sudden, it's like going grocery shopping in many ways. You're on the ice cream aisle and you shouldn't be there, right? But it sure looks good.
So much fun.
Ping, 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 ping,
ping, ping. That's right.
With the scoop ping. That's a bigger ping.
So I and then I find that if I take a list, that it limits my creativity, right? So if I just say I need to get something for Bob, Alan, Nicole, blah, blah, blah. I have a list, so I won't forget anybody. I already know what they like and so forth. I kind of have an idea what might be good, unless somebody specifically says, I want an Apple Watch. Well, hell, what good is that except standing in line? So I like it better when I know that my niece loves gardening. So I know I need to go to the gardening store. I know I need to see all the wonderful things that she doesn't have. And then, something just calls me and says, that's Michelle. That's it. That's the right one. So then you get that, and it's all exciting. One down, now it's the next one. And that's how I shop. Other people shop by list, but I gave that up years ago. I think it just stifles your creativity unless somebody says Apple Watch, nothing else. Okay, fine.
Well, I remember going, on, trips with you too, and everywhere you went, you looked for shot glasses for someone, but no, not just this shot glass. It had to have like some other kind of personality to the shot glass.
Yeah,
and I think it was for a little girl or a little boy. It wasn't.
No, it wasn't. It was sort of. Okay, so it was when I was working at Thornton Winery, and I was doing their PR and marketing. And the gal that I interface with most, her son, for some reason, collected shot glasses. Now he was all of 13, 14, between 12 and 14. So I didn't know what he was doing with them. I didn't ask, but she said he was enthralled with them. So I just started collecting them for her. And it was wonderful. Ping, ping, ping. It was just great every time I could find something. You know, you just have to be careful because it was a boy and I didn't want to get anything too girly, nothing pink.
Right.
And he seemed to like everything. So he got quite a few before I moved
Oh.
on. So yeah.
Well, so you know about people's collections too, because people collect things. Like I went through a
Mhm.
phase of I had frogs everywhere, you know. Well, no, I love
Let me not
frogs.
say anything.
I love frogs.
Well, that's you know
I have a thing
that's
about
interesting.
frogs.
Well, this is interesting because my sister collects, of all things, who knew, wooden spoons. Now, one would not think that there would be a large stash to
Hmm.
choose from. A wooden spoon is a wooden spoon, but I found something she doesn't have. Very exciting. I lost it it was for last Christmas, but I lost it. One of those things where you put it away, you put it away and you never find it again until the next year. So it did reappear just 2 days ago. But anyway, they're called spurtles. Who's ever heard of a spurtle?
I beg your pardon.
There you go. And that's a triple ping because nobody knows what it is, but they're fabulous and they're specific wooden spoons.
Sounds like
I
a
think-
real, it's a
I'm gonna
good
go
way-
walking around
it
saying
sounds
Spurtle
like a
all the
really
time.
good drink. I'll have a Spurtle.
Oh, it does.
please.
It does.
I
You can
know.
sort of
Sounds
make
like a
drinks with
good
it.
drink.
I'm going to be asking people, like, I'm going to go everywhere going, do you have a Spurtle?
Do you have a spurtle I can use? Like this would be and what it does, it was made for a long time ago, getting all the oatmeal out of the pot. You know how where the end,
Oh,
where
yeah.
the side meets the bottom, and
Yeah.
that's
Okay,
where the
yeah.
lot of that oatmeal just lays there and taunts you.
Mhm.
Well, the spurtle is made in such a way that it goes right and it just gets it all. And then that was the original spurtle. And then they've made like, now there's like, it comes in a set of 5 to do all sorts of stuff, but
So
and they're
you
all
have
look
a
different.
set of Spurtles.
You have a set of spurtles, yes. So it's hard to say, yes. So I bought my daughter one because I know she doesn't have one. I told them last year, I'm sorry you have another gift, but I think either your dad threw them out or they're lost, or I don't know, I'm not really sure. But there they were just 2 days ago. So everybody's getting a spurtle again.
You found your Spurtles.
So, how many teapots do you get? Because we know you love tea.
Since I don't have my tea room in the house anymore, I only get ones that have broken and I need to replace them. Do you know that I bought a turkey teapot probably in 85, and it was a Fitz and Floyd, and it was probably $45. That same damn teapot is now $320.
Whoa.
Same one. Nothing's happened. It's just matured.
Oh, so wait,
but
wait,
ping,
wait.
ping,
This could be
ping.
another ping. I mean, there's a whole eBay ping going on here. Oh,
So we went to
I
eBay
wonder-
and we found it, and we found it for about 120, which still kind of gets
double
me. But
ping.
I so loved that teapot that it was just, when Alan took it down from where it was being displayed and the head just rolled off and crashed.
Oh,
Yeah, so he tried to put it together, not so well, but anyway, then it got dropped again, and I don't know why, but anyway, that was the last of it. So anyway, I'm really looking for special. Last year I got a Thanksgiving one. I didn't have a Thanksgiving one, and so now that's sort of good. I'm sort of into the not drones. What's the other name from they're Norwegian. What are they? You know what they are? They're little gnomes.
Oh, gnomes.
gnomes.
Garden
Oh.
gnomes.
don't
Oh,
start me.
garden
Gnomes,
gnomes.
Do not start me on my.
gnomes.
Oh,
Gnomes
boy.
have matured, and they are I even saw a gnome with a Halloween costume on it last week.
Oh
See,
my
these
God.
are the
Oh,
sorts
boy.
of things where
Oh, dude.
You have
happy
this is
Linda,
you have
happy present to Linda.
How,
Nancy,
how,
behave yourself.
I don't know. I just have
Because
this
The
burning
gnomes and the
question.
trolls.
How long do you think it will take for your Spurtles to increase in value?
Well, they're mass produced, so I don't know, but I'm glad I don't have to buy them again because they actually are really quite fun. Or innovative when in your cooking, because they're made to get like the last bit of jam in the jar.
Yeah,
They're
I
just
get, I
curved.
see. So
Smooth
it's
and curved and all that sort of stuff. So they are a good find. They were a good ping. My gnome isn't, yeah, gnome. Yeah, my gnome
the
was
gnomes are cool.
Well,
they're very
trolls, they're
cool.
trolls from Norway. They're trolls.
Trolls and gnomes, yeah, that's trolls probably. And
And they
I
have
was able to
yeah.
get,
I was gonna say the trolls, it's trolls. Norway is trolls. And then there's other trolls, but we won't go there. I'm trying so hard to behave myself with trolls
So the
and gnomes.
title of this radio segment will be Spurtles and Trolls.
And gnomes.
what?
And
You never
teapots.
know. I bought one in Scandinavia, and it's a cute little thing, so it's quite wonderful.
They're
The troll?
supposed to bring you good luck and
The
some
trolls under
form
the
of-
bridge.
yeah, and they're supposed to bring you good luck. They're mischievous, so they will play jokes on you, but they're supposed to bring you good luck and give you some defense
Mhm.
against whatever.
It's like the coyote, the trickster in the desert. They're like
Right.
naughty little animals, but they're the trickster.
But-
So yeah.
They're not bad.
So anyway, so I am sort of beefing that collection up, and I still collect nutcrackers. But at this point, I have a gazillion. I think it's almost.
Don't let the
19
troll meet the nutcracker. I'm just saying. I had to go
Trolls,
there. I can't help it.
There's okay.
Can't
Now
help
the
it.
title is Trolls, Spurtles, and Nutcrackers.
No, but the nutcracker. So when we were in Oregon, we went to McMinnville, and there's this wonderful bed and breakfast.
Mhm.
You would like this. You would approve. A Tuscan estate bed and breakfast,
Yes. Oh,
and
it's
she was
very
on our
nice.
show during the lockdown. We hadn't been there yet, but we finally got there. It was just one of those like we could do it now, and she was like, "Get your butts up here!" And what? This is a shopping destination. See,
Mhm.
so we checked into the inn, really historic, a mansion. So Diva would approve, with nice garden areas for
Mhm.
wine, because you're in the heart of Willamette Pinot Noir,
Mm.
area. And everyone's emailing, messaging me, you've got to go have the wine. I'm like, duh. Of course we're going to go have wine. And we did. We went down the Oregon coast. We had wine on the way. And anyway, we had a good time. But she collects nutcrackers. So she's
Mhm.
got, and whenever Christmas comes out, so her guests get to see the Nutcracker exhibit. Of course, we had Giggles on that show. So she has the Nutcracker collection, but her downtown district, and that's something we really always want to talk about, is supporting downtowns. And this McMinnville is fabulous. The downtown has like even its own grocery store with organic foods and beer, craft beer and wine, but like where people actually go get their groceries with actual fruit, local fruit and vegetables, bookstores, just there's a quilting shop. There's a little bit of everything. And I think that's what makes a downtown, and restaurants that are where you can sit outside if
I
it's
love
not
that.
raining. So, to me, that's part of the experience, is that you're not just zooming in and out of the store, that you can be leisurely walk, which gives you a ping. Walking gives pings, and you can sit and go wine tasting in between. We must have wine in between, don't you think, Diva Linda?
Absolutely, and wine with lunch is even better.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Wine tasting is even better than all of that.
I love that. And I love window dressing, like when a shop does their window dressing. So you really want to go in.
Mhm.
Not this is a warehouse and this is a ton of things and just look in the window. I like with the window dressing, like what they do over the holiday season. In my mind, I would like to see that. I know they're not going to like me for it, but I'd like to see it year round.
Mhm.
I want the window dressing because that's like the come on in.
But that's what, like Benet Gifts in Hollister downtown. You've been to Hollister?
Yes.
Remember San Benito Benet? They do all the local. It's now Benet Gifts of Hollister. She does window dressings, and
I love
she
it.
hires like local artists and kids to as well, so they can learn. Every holiday, she redoes her display with everything new and I just think we've become so Amazonified. I'm not knocking it, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying we have got to, as a society, remember some of these
Mhm.
pleasures and support these stores that really have to fight the Amazon. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
the Amazon, yeah.
yeah,
The
you know, we
Amazon.
like the
I think
Amazon
when all-
forest, but
Yeah,
you know.
I think when all possible, think local rather than Amazon. And I think for those people who give you their wish list, if you're shopping for others, and it's, you know, Apple Watch and it's, you know, something that is
Here's your gift
just
card.
not true. Yeah, yeah.
It's not personal. It's
And
not
it's not
personal.
pingable. You're not gonna get any pings on that, but.
No, you're not getting
I
any
think
pings
local
on
is
that.
Pingable. This is a whole
Local's
new
best.
thing. We have a whole new thing now. Every time you come on a show, was it pingable?
No,
Did
there's
this
no
give you
pings
a
on
ping?
that one.
Ping,
Yeah.
ping. Okay, so no ping on the Apple Watch. But downtown, if you found a really cool watch that is maybe from the 1800s or even like a pocket watch, remember those? Now that's ping. That's a
Or-
That's a
triple,
ping.
quadruple
Or
ping.
like the little watches with a face inside, like a little Mickey Mouse watch, or a little
Yes,
drawing on the
yes.
inside.
Remember,
the
women used to
drawing
have
matches the
watches?
person.
We
Oh,
had
that's
we
right.
the
Yeah.
necklaces with the watches too. Remember
Mhm,
those?
mhm.
Is it just me, or we'd have it like a pin, like great grandmas? My age group
Mhm,
would be great grandmas that had like a watch that they would pin to their
mhm.
house coat, so they could flip it up and look at it. Remember
Yeah.
those? There's
There-
something.
Yes.
Yeah, and then, but they always had little
Linda, you're too young
drawings.
to know.
Well, they had little drawings on the inside. So if you like Cinderella, then there'd be a little picture of Cinderella. If you like Black Beauty, then there'd be a little horse in there.
Now you're gonna get
So-
Finding Nemo in your watch.
Yeah, you could be a Finding Nemo person and have a a little
Why
whale
not?
Well,
or
I think
something
also,
in
yeah,
that.
last year, remember when we all were in Fallbrook for a long time? The three of
Mhm.
us were part of
Yeah.
Fallbrook and in that
Mhm.
community, you and
Yeah.
what you do, and me as the tourism director.
Mhm.
They had several art shops. You remember? So it was an arty town.
Like
Every
Brandon
other shop
Gallery
was
and
Mhm.
like
Pauline's.
Brandon Gallery. And in
Mhm.
Brandon Gallery was a gal, maybe you even know her. Her name is Kay Taylor. Very
Yeah.
creative.
I know
She
her.
was so sweet to me and kind to me, and I just happen to like what she does. So this year, she pops up on Facebook, and I ask her, "What are you doing?" And she says, "Oh, you know, I'm teaching, and I'm also doing more and more painting. And here's the last one that I did." And she puts it up on Facebook, and I said, "Is it for sale?" And she said, "Oh yeah, it's for sale." And then so you were having this conversation on Facebook, which I think is funny. A funny place to shop is Facebook. And so for Christmas, she did do, I did buy that painting. They had to
Mm.
find it because somebody had moved it in the house. It took a couple weeks, but they finally found it. And you know, who knows where you're going to find your special ping? That beautiful,
Mhm.
beautiful painting that I got for Christmas will always be and it's of a flower market. You know,
Oh,
I like
nice.
flowers.
Oh, that's nice. I like Have you been to the
Mm.
flower market in Holland?
I have not,
I
not during
want
when
to
they
do
had.
that. I-
Well, I've been to the market there. Okay, I have been to the market there,
Mm.
but I've not been when they're having a special market day or a convention. And I understand if you go then, that's where the pinging really begins because it's just really
Well, I know.
super, super
This
special.
In
really is a new
Amsterdam-
word for us now. That's
Now,
it.
in
Ping.
Amsterdam at the market, if you look upstairs, there's a whole lot of ping women.
Oh, yeah.
They
I
got
didn't
double
see that.
pings. There's a little the
Yeah.
tasseled pings. But
I
But,
just had to say it 'cause
I
it's
know
so
you had to go
true.
there.
So I was like,
but
oh.
Fallbrook, what I liked about Brandon Gallery, it was a cooperative gallery, and I think people, something to really bring up. There's a lot of stores, like especially in really small communities where maybe the artist and people that are into buying, refinishing, you know, that kind of thing, they do not have the time or funding to go and open an entire store, but they co-op. When we were in Winfield,
idea.
Louisiana, up north of Natchitoches, it's this tiny town that it is politically huge. It has the Louisiana Political Museum. And it is probably the only political museum we have in this country, like an
Yeah.
actual political
That's
museum
what they
with
say.
every politician, and they
Mm.
follow their careers and stompins. And we actually did a radio show from there. But so Huey Long and his brother were from this tiny town, which is also connected to Kisatchie National Forest. So it's a logging town, but I mean, it's a small downtown. And then at the Pea Patch, see how you remember these places though, they stick to your heart. The Pea Patch, where you can get sawdust pie, and I've got the recipe. Everyone, Nancy made the video of it. No, the
Mhm.
sawdust pie, it's like a butterscotch pie almost. Like,
That
oh
was
my, are
really
you kidding?
good. It
It-
sounds bad, but it was really good.
Seriously, everybody, it's got
It
K rose
sounds
syrup in it.
real
It's
bad.
good. It's real good for you. But you go in here's her little deli, little bakery, small. You go in and you're eating amongst the antique shops, and there's people doing antiques, people doing art, everybody. And she's an artist, an amazing Gail Shelton. I remember her name too. Her art is amazing. And so, those places stick in your heart. And, even I found myself, here's COVID happening, going, and not just because of the magazine and making sure everything's up to date and everything, which we're still battling with, is everyone open or not? But these are
Mm.
the places you start scrambling. I hope you made it through. Because these, and that's something to think about when we're shopping. Are we helping our mom and pops, our individuals, our creative souls? I mean, a lot of musicians play in these smaller places, that these cooperatives. And it's like where you've done a lot of the food halls. Isn't that the same thing too?
It,
You know?
if you want something that's sort of one of a kind, or, maybe one of 10, but they're still different because they're not manufactured, unmanufactured items. If you want something unique, you want something that is unmanufactured,
Mm.
so that you all don't go to a Christmas party and give each other the same gift. You know what I
That'd
Or
be
mean?
the same
awful.
outfit.
Yeah,
We all wear the
exactly.
same outfit.
Right,
Yeah.
so if you want something unique and creative, and you go to a mom and pop shop and you look for one of a kind items.
Mm.
And then you take that one of a kind item and you give it, or you keep it, or you give it to someone who, in your mind and heart, matches the personality of that gift.
Mm.
That's to
I
me is
agree.
what gift giving is
Mm.
about. And so when you're shopping, you can go into a place and there's like, in Natchitoches, what is that store that's 2 stories, Lisa? And they're
Oh,
just
Cafe
so,
Frederick. It's the oldest
oh my,
general mercantile in the state.
there is so much.
There's other
that
Priscilla's
it's-
little sock monkeys in there.
Yes, that's the one.
She
with the
found
other
friends,
Yeah,
and they got
she-
to ride on a red wagon together.
Yes, there's so
I
much
think she needs
there.
she needs a gnome friend.
She has a
troll
Bessie
friend.
now. Oh, she does need a gnome friend, but
She
she also has her
does.
latest friend is Bessie from Scotland.
Mhm.
Our friends went over to Scotland and they brought back Bessie.
A little
I'll
Loch
send you a photo
Nessie.
of her. Yeah, Loch Ness Bessie. Sorry, yeah, it's just Bessie. But yeah, Loch Ness Bessie. That's what we call her. And so,
So we have to
she
start
has-
playing with
but a
her
gnome,
too.
Priscilla and the gnome and Bessie. We'll do that.
That's a good trio.
Well, we kept her away because of COVID. You didn't want anything
Yeah.
to touch, all of that. So she's getting a little pissy. She's not feeling very pingy being in
No,
her
but
little
we'll bring her
Priscilla
out.
bag. She needs to
It's
go back
okay to
out.
bring her out now.
Yeah,
But I
she'd like
think
to
just
come out
going
of the
back
bag.
going back to that one store, because, and it's 2, even 3
That's
stories.
too, and they have the old
The-
elevator, the
Yeah,
original elevator.
I know, and you go up and there's just so much that it's kind of mind blowing. Like the first time you go in, you're like, whoa. And the second time you go in, now you start to be
We
able
gotta
to
get Diva
buy.
Linda to Natchitoches. I can't stand that
Yeah,
you
you
haven't
have
gone
to
to
go,
Natchitoches
you
yet.
have to go to that store.
We need you to go to
because
Natchitoches because they have
Maybe I-
galleries with all these.
Are you
these
sure I haven't been?
No, you haven't, but we keep talking
Okay.
about it and keep telling you
Mm,
need to go.
But that store is amazing.
And
I
you
mean,
probably
they're
see it
just,
all the time in the magazines. But oh, speaking of shopping, you just went on these Viking cruises, Scandinavia,
Mm.
all over. You went to So Christmas markets, you've done all this European, like that's a whole other deal. How do you bring it all home? Like, I mean,
Well, you have to plan that. Now that is a plan ahead thing. So I'll tell you, I've done it several different ways. One is just knowing that I'm going to be bringing home stuff so I leave room in my suitcase, and then Alan has room in his suitcase. And if need be, I'll just buy a flimsy old one that's
yeah,
all treasures that go back. You have to be really careful with that because unless it's small, if it's too, it has to be small enough to fit on the plane as a carry-on. You
Right.
could never check that stuff. That just wouldn't work.
No.
And once I went to Portugal, and is it the island of Majorca?
I think Majorca
something.
sounds I
Majorca.
don't know.
It's the
Haven't been there
island
yet.
over there
Mm.
that you go from Portugal, and it's a contained island. It's beautiful, it's wonderful, and I fell in love with what everybody does, their pottery. So
Oh,
the we were on a tour, and I think we had the day to shop, but this is the last place I went, and all of a sudden, all this wonderful pottery, and there was absolutely no way that this stuff was going to
On a suitcase,
fit a suitcase. So I just said to the gal, you know what, my bus leaves in 15 minutes. I just gonna point. I just want you to pick up the items that I'm pointing at. I'll give you my address and send it to California for me, please. And her eyes got big. This is heavy stuff. And I said, well, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Somehow I won't tell my husband. It'll all work out. It'll be just fine. And that damn box was, I'm going to say 3 or 4 feet tall, because of all the packing and
Wow,
stuff,
Linda.
and, same wide. Oh my gosh. But that was my funniest one. And the lady probably thought it was.
and now you
kidding,
know
but
why Linda goes on a boat during the summer
So,
and does it, no matter what.
Did it arrive
As a
okay?
balance.
Was it all
everything
okay?
arrived okay. And I mean, this is
Wow, good for
I mean,
her.
some of it was very fine powdery, other was a little thicker, but I didn't lose one piece. It was
Wow,
fabulous.
good for her. She packed it well.
This
That's
is
awesome.
amazing. I mean, and
Awesome.
that's a thing that when you travel now, what
Mhm.
we're finding is you'll fall in love with a store and what they're doing because maybe they have local things, especially,
Mhm.
for park travelers. You want the t-shirt of the park that you've been in.
yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much what we live in is t-shirts. Sorry, everybody. But if it's got a park emblem or whatever, and you half the time can't see it on Zoom unless I stand up and then it could be weird. But it's you want those things and then you want something for someone else. And so being able to shop online, again, not knocking the Amazon thing, but you've already been in that store, you've met the owner
Mhm.
or maybe someone working there. There's a feeling and you know what you're buying and who you're supporting.
Mhm.
And I really love that. And I think even when we're buying from Amazon, we are supporting workers.
Workers.
We are you made a
Tons of
big
them.
point about that in your article about we're
Mhm.
supporting a family whenever we shop and a
Mhm.
community in that level.
Well, and then if you're going to give gifts, you can't make them all yourself. I mean,
No.
you
No,
know?
no.
Get the glitter out.
No, no,
Get the
no.
glitter out.
Oh, no, that takes
Totally
away
did
from
not.
shopping.
No.
No.
Diva Linda, do you ever buy I know whenever you go somewhere, like even Alaska, when you were, you guys were, boating in Alaska, I was like, no way Diva Linda's going in there. And she went hiking where bears are. I'm like, holy cow, what's she doing for shoes? And, I mean, I'll just, hats off
She
to
had
you,
hiking
man.
boots with
Seriously.
rhinestones on
Yeah,
them.
yeah. So we're always talking to you about like, okay, what shoes are you wearing? But have you ever purchased shoes online? Would you ever do that? Or even clothes?
Online?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I do it all the time. Yeah, I do it
Oh.
all the time. There's a better selection, much better selection. And my size is in the general mass of people who I'm a size 8, and they can always carry 8.
See how she's
And,
telling us to make sure everybody knows if they want to send her shoes.
So, and they always fit?
They're almost always, but just like any shoe, all shoes have problematic areas. I should say, all shoe companies have a line. They'll do 50 types of shoes, and I'll probably want number 12, and number 12 is one that has the problematic error of they put a bow somewhere they shouldn't, or the rhinestone is killing you on the heel or
All
whatever.
right,
But
yeah.
I find, I'm gonna say 90% of the time, it's just perfect. It's not a
Cool.
problem
That's
whatsoever.
cool, actually.
That's Yeah. See, so there is, I think the e-commerce thing is going to shift and get bigger as this whole changeover from people resigning from their jobs, learning that they can work at home, that they can do things. I think we're going to see a big shift. And I think we may be able to have more places to shop that are, see, that's another part. I mean, we want to do the downtowns, but there's a lot of people on Etsy, eBay, Facebook Marketplace. I mean, I see that happening all the time. People are like,
Mhm.
hey, I'm getting rid of a, chest of drawers in their own community, and someone will come up to their backyard and pick up the chest
Okay.
of drawers, and instead of just tossing it, or, they make a few bucks. So I see that side being kind of community driven too. That's a good thing,
But from an artistic or creative standpoint for artists and such, it's really hard to produce your carvings, paintings, your artistic objects, and then have a business mind where you have like art shows, sell your own work. Selling your own work is not that easy.
No, it's time
So,
consuming.
well, time consuming,
But
and the
also
ego thing is difficult, because if somebody critiques something, then as the artist, you can like either handle it or not.
Mm.
Yeah, so there's a lot of factors.
And you go,
So,
this is the best pig painting on the planet, or
yeah,
you know what I
no,
mean?
but
It's
so but I think it's good if there's an outlet for people to sell their artwork without always having to do face-to-face negotiations. And sometimes, like I know in other countries that we lived in Mexico, there's the bargaining thing.
I like
Yeah,
that personally.
We don't sort of do that here, but
No,
but in Mexico, it's a big thing, and then they almost consider you naive
In Asia, in India
if
and
you
stuff
don't
like that too.
bargain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's part of it.
But
That's
then if
part
it's
of
your
it.
I'm gonna
art,
take a closer look this year when we go north to Seattle at the Asian community. I want to see because the Asian community in Seattle has so much to offer. It has all these shops. It has its own shopping district. It has its own botanical gardens. These are all things that I have not done in a while. I did them when I was first lived in Seattle, but that was a much younger me, like 24 or something. So I mean, these are just and I don't expect to find a big warehouse looking thing. I expect to find things that will be unique and purchasable. So this is the time of year that I like the best, changing subjects. This is the time of year I love the best because of all the festivals. The fall festivals, the pumpkin festivals, this, that, and the other thing.
for sure.
And I think my most memorable shopping experience was going to the Christmas markets in Germany, and did that on a cruise, which made it very easy. All up and down the river, it was just amazing, and all these different people in each market having different things. And oh my gosh, I think that was the year that I was into snow globes. So I think
I remember that.
That's
All the
right,
snow
I
globes.
remember
I
that.
remember
Yeah.
those.
those, yes. So of course I had to have 2 for me, 3 for everybody else. Talk about a heavy suitcase. My husband kept saying they're going to charge us $1 gazillion. I thought, well, do you know what you paid for it when we were near Portugal? You wouldn't say that, but okay.
Yeah, but she gets on a boat every summer with
That's
her
right.
wine.
Yeah.
With
Yeah,
their wine,
yeah.
with their wine, with their wine. You do
It's
good
my
on that.
wine. Yep.
But
So I try
going back to the Asian markets and what you were talking
Yep.
about too. Remember when
Yep.
you were in Richmond in British Columbia?
Yes.
And you did the
Yes.
dumpling trail, and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm
Yes.
finding all these facial products in a dumpling place and
I
doing
know.
these beauty things,
That's
getting
so
your feet
funny.
massaged, or all these things were going on. But you were supposed to be on a dumpling trail. Well, detour, there's these beauty masks over
Detour.
here
Well, that's
for
what
like
happened.
$2 or something, like crazy.
Oh, it was wonderful. Was a wonderful experience. And we even after that, I think maybe the next summer brought our boat down into Richmond. And that was fun. You know, it's just
It's amazing.
be-
Those are the things, like, to me, shopping is part of the travel experience, and going in and getting the artists, like what Nancy says, when you go to these places like Brandon
Mhm.
Gallery in Fallbrook or Silver City, New Mexico, you could go
Mhm.
in and find, 3 or 4 artists in one place, or you go on like the festivals, go to those events, but there's also studio tours in different places. And I think
oh, I
those are
love
cool.
those.
When you can go
I
to the
love
different art,
those.
remember Three Rivers, California? You went
Mhm.
there with us, where you could
That
go to
was
the different,
wonderful.
you see
I've done
people,
a couple
artists
of those.
creating, Nady, Spencer,
Those are
remember
wonderful.
Mhm.
those tours, you see the art being made, jewelry being made, the paintings, and it's like, you start to get the value of it,
Oh, yeah. And you get to and if you get to meet the artists, that's even more. Now
Mhm.
you have the heart and soul and the thought behind the painting. It's awesome. And it really
So on
means
everybody's shopping list, you should go to the Christmas markets. You should do a studio tour, and that can be anywhere near you or beyond. Those two
Right.
things I
Mhm.
think are just, you just have to do it. That's just the way it goes.
Oh,
If you're a shopper,
festivals, festivals, studio tours, whenever there's a trail. You
a
did the
trail,
garden
dumpling
trail,
trail.
the farm and garden trail in Skagit Valley.
That's right.
Oh, that I went on just this summer was
Yeah.
fabulous.
You could buy
Who knew?
flowers. I mean,
Mm.
flowers are part of shopping. I mean, God, when you go and give someone a bouquet of flowers, just
Mhm.
because, can't go wrong with that.
That's a big ping-ish
Ping,
thing.
ping, ping, ping.
The
You're
big
getting pinged by
ping.
the sun right now. She's
We're
getting
gonna
pinged.
have
I
to
know.
come
You're
up
in
with
Okay, hold on
Arizona.
just one second. One
She's
second.
we're gonna have to
She's closing.
get a ping
You're getting
sound
pinged by the
effect.
sun too. Well, ping is good. Sun is
We
good.
need Lisa, we need a ping sound effect. So
A
we can go ping, ping.
pingometer, a pingometer,
Yeah, we
a
need a
pingometer. A
I don't
pingometer.
like it.
Okay,
I don't like the sound of that.
from
but-
now on, and as you do your stories and travel across the country, around the world by boat, however your ships, small cruises, we want the pingometer report
Yeah,
from you.
the ping
We
report.
want to know, how was this on your pingometer? It used to be
The-
Diva used to give like the Diva awards. Now we want the
Now,
ping,
the
the ping
pingometer,
factor,
yeah.
the ping
Ping.
factor.
Ping, we have to think of a better word than ping, but ping off. I don't
Nope,
think I
it's a
can say
ping off.
ping monitor.
A
Whatever you said.
pingometer.
Pingometer.
I like the
Pingometer.
ping
Pingometer.
factor, the ping awards. The ping, you're getting the pings. All right, everyone's
We
gonna
need to
think we're
do
nuts.
that.
But listen, shopping is about shopping. Hello,
Ping.
shopping.
That is fabulous. I'm writing that down.
Oh, that's it.
shopping.
Shopping is
That's
a
it.
ping. Put the
Shopping.
ping in shopping. So
Oh
listen, this
my
is it.
gosh.
Festivals.
I gotta retitle my
online.
article.
Okay, that's it. We're going to take our article down right now. Put it back up with the ping.
Who put the ping in shopping?
Nancy's got
Like,
who
oh.
put the ping? Nancy's
I
going to do
love
something
that.
to something here. I know, like
Oh,
it's
that's
just,
fabulous.
when people look at like we need ping, the ping factor. It
That's right.
is. We need to have sparklies everywhere. Whenever Diva Linda
Mhm.
comes on,
It's
Are you
put the
pinging
ping in
today?
shopping.
yeah. And
Well,
listen,
are you
women need to
pinging
have a
today?
good ping now and again. It's a happy hormone. Everybody
This is
goes
get-
off about women and hormones. Well,
It's
let
just
us
getting
shop.
dangerous.
No.
See,
It's getting
This is what?
dangerous.
Well, is serotonin a hormone? I don't think, is it? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think
have to
oh,
read
so.
more.
it's a joy juice. It's a joy
I think
juice.
I think it is a hormone.
Do you?
I don't. I
Mhm.
think it's a good. It's like dopamine. It's
Ah,
a
yes.
I think
see,
it's a
It's an
hormone.
ing.
it's an
pinging,
in
yeah.
a ping ming. Well, we have our new
Uh-oh.
language today for all
All right.
shoppings. So everyone keep up with Diva Linda at allingoodtaste.info and watch for our Mission Possible story, or actually a whole magazine dedicated to shopping. Ping. I'm just going to
Mhm.
call Mission Possible Pinging Across America.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to do a
Oh,
whole
I should-
magazine of all the destinations we've been to that have good shopping places, all these destinations like that we've been to across the
Oh
country.
my gosh.
You know how many
that would
downtowns
be-
we've been to? That's what's happening.
Oh,
So
yeah.
everybody watch out for that. All these downtowns, festivals, watch out for it. And it's just going to be the start of it, because now that I know I can get more pings in my life, I'll be
Well,
doing more often.
Just so you know, I Googled
need a
it.
ping. I need a big
And
ping.
serotonin is indeed a hormone.
Okay, but we want those.
Wonderful.
It's a happy
I need
hormone.
hormones. I love hormones. Fabulous.
Tell
I
Alan
was just gonna say shopping is therefore a free hormone, and Alan's gonna be going,
No. No, but hey, listen, she gets on the boat every summer. That's that balance I love about you guys.
Yeah,
know?
see,
There you
getting
go.
on the boat, anything
She
that
deals
makes
with the boat
you
life in the summer.
feel,
Because
anything
he
that makes
always
you
promises
feel
me we're going to
happy.
Victoria, Canada. You want to
Oh.
talk about shopping?
Oh,
Oh my gosh, it's a wonderful
Ooh.
place to shop. I love to take the bus, and the bus goes all around and all these shopping districts. It's fabulous.
see,
Just saying.
Okay. So I think more places have to do online shipping. That's a big deal for shoppers and travelers. You know what? I
Yeah.
actually like that. And here's another really good thing about shipping. Okay, so that's commerce that's helping, the
it's got a ping
shipping
in it.
industry. It's got a ping, shipping and
shopping.
shopping, 2 pings. So, but here it is. Because you don't want, when you're traveling and you're on a road trip, right? You go to all these funky downtowns. Like say you're doing the Jefferson Highway. We told you about that from Winnipeg to New Orleans or Route 66 or whatever. You're going to get all that cool memorabilia, maybe for your
Yeah.
bar, for your car, whatever. See, I'm rhyming it with the ping and the shing.
Mhm.
I'm going to get in trouble. But when you're doing all this, you don't want to have to put it in your car and worry about sun or theft or having to lug it into your hotel room on a road trip. Trust me, because
Ship
we
it.
are on a permanent road trip. You do not want to have to carry this stuff. It's the biggest problem we have on our tour, is having to always use my arms to carry everything into a hotel room. So I say the more shops that do shipping, don't just look at it on your website as shipping deals. Look at it for the people coming in. And if they are a traveler, do the same kind of deal for the travelers coming in, so that they can get all
Mhm.
kinds of goodies when they come home. And as we travel across the country, we pet sit. And if you have pet sitters, they'll take good care and make sure everything comes into the house. So and nobody steals, because everybody has Amazon people
Don't laugh
steal.
about that, because that's an issue living in two places, Seattle and Arizona. When the time comes to leave or the time comes to come back, there's a short window there of about 3 weeks where you're in no man's land. At least we are,
Oh, yeah.
driving up and visiting people and doing all that sort of stuff. And so it's really helpful if you have somebody who will accept
Oh,
the
yeah.
stuff that's coming to you, but you're not there. Because, if they, especially if they ship it to Arizona, in the hot weather, it'll just
You
melt.
do.
So, yeah.
As us doing pet sitting, we have learned, even if there isn't pets, you need a house
You have someone there, because
sitter.
they'll
You
text
need
you and
to
say,
not leave your house vacant.
yeah, they text us and say, we have a package coming, and we learn kind of when the
Yeah.
packages come. So we are aware of a package coming, and the dogs will
And-
let you know anyway, and you get it. But I
And
do encourage
watering
this
gardens,
for those who don't
watering
have it.
house plants.
Get a ring on your door, a ring doorbell thing, so you can see who's at your door. Okay. And if anyone steals, you have their mugshot. Then you be part of the next door app, which is part of your community. And so if people talk about, hey, there's someone going on the street and stealing stuff, and everybody can post their stuff, it gives stuff for the cops to know. And you are aware if there's a thief about to wait for them with a pan of hot water if they come to your front door.
Pan of hot water.
You know
Okay.
what I mean? I'm going old school, but Nextdoor app, from what I know from all of our pet sitting people, they all belong, and they're like, hey, there's something going on. Someone's trying to break into cars or whatever. It's a good thing to have. So ship your stuff, because you can get insurance on it too. and have a Ring doorbell, have a pet sitter, and always have a pot of hot water at your front door. Just kidding. And get a ping. Go shopping, shipping, and be pinged. So thank you, Diva Linda. Always a pleasure. Diva Linda again is on our show every first Saturday. Take a listen as she tells us all about her different destinations. Thanks, Diva Linda.
Thanks, Linda.